The reason agents get a phone call before someone else has nothing to do with how long they've been licensed, and it has everything to do with who made that buyer or seller feel like the most informed person in the room. This is what I call the local expert. And the good news is you don't need a decade of business, real estate business, to become one. You need the basic framework and the understanding of where to get this information from that's impactful for your followers. They decide to choose you from the next agent in your market, because let's face it, there are hundreds of them there and you need to stand out. So today in Stop Chasing, Start Attracting, I am going to demonstrate to you how to become a local expert, and I want you to download this deck. It's the Local Expert Playbook. And we're going to go over a couple of the sheets and talk about how you can become that local expert like I did. So I started my business here in my market in the Villages, Florida in 2020. Was July of 2020 is when I got my license. And I'm now grossing over $500,000 a year. It took time to develop. It took 6 years to get to this point. But you can do it too. You just have to work hard at it, because real estate is not a hard job, but you do have to work hard at it. So welcome to Stop Chasing, Start Attracting. This is your show, Realtors, where you come to learn how to become a local authority, develop your brand, and be able to reinvent your life in real estate so you have financial and your time can be your own to an extent. And I'm going to hand you the playbook. I'm going to show you exactly how I do these things and how I've developed my business. These aren't generalizations. This is real world experience. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and get that free giveaway, that the deck, the Local Expert Training Deck, so you can follow along. Here's what we're covering today. By the time this episode is over, you are going to know exactly how to position yourself as a local expert in your market, whether you've been licensed for 8 days, 8 months, or 8 years. You're going to have 5 content buckets that every authority-based agent is pulling from right now. And you're going to know exactly where to find this piece of information or these pieces of information that will help you become that expert. So let's get into it. So you got to remember, we're going to go over this again. Most agents stay invisible because they feel like they have to be established for years before they can gain traction. Meanwhile, someone who got their license recently has 2 appointments booked with buyers, because I'm telling you, I want you to chase after buyers first. Sellers will come. But she has 2 appointments because they are making videos about the neighborhoods and the topics that their buyers find meaningful. And they did not wait to get ready. They just started. Because remember, and I was going to say remember a lot, the clients are actually paying you for your expertise in every aspect of search to close. They are not paying you to open the door and let them in. And we'll talk about what you should talk and not talk about, and how clear and transparent you should be when you're showing homes in another episode. But this here, we're just talking about how to get these clients in the door, because they're paying you a lot of money. You know, they're going to have a lot of questions about taxes, insurance, neighborhoods, schools, shopping, medical care. There's probably like 100 videos right there in those couple of things that I have just discussed. So I want you to take a quick look at this first slide. It's a mindset shift. So most agents, again, we're going to go over this. This is the second time we're talking about it, but they think you need a lot of experience, but you don't. To become a local expert, you just have to research your community. You have to know everything before you speak. That's not true, because it's okay to go back to one of your customers and say, hey, guess what? I have to get back to you with that answer. They will respect you for that. They do expect you to know a lot, but not everything. And there may be some things that you're just going to say, hey, I need to find out. And remember, you can do this by spending, I'm going to say, I know in my deck it says 60 minutes a week, which you could do it. I spend a minimum of 60 minutes a day researching and creating content, whether it's video form or print form. Just rephrase, I don't pay to print when I'm talking about text ads with images that I schedule out as well. But it doesn't take years to figure that out. You're going to find there's 5 buckets. There are 5 buckets of content that you need to get accustomed with. And I'm going to show you them here. Public data, market data, business movement, schools and lifestyle, community rhythm. And you need to take each one of these buckets and make your content interpret what it's saying. Give them some information. Just don't say, oh, we have great medical care here. Give a list of all the hospitals. Put together a list of all of the urgent care facilities, dentists, and maybe you might want to put that in a little giveaway. Hey, this is a relocation packet, and this is what I have in here for you. I have lists of neighborhoods by approximate pricing. I have a list of all new construction. In this, I have all the local school districts. I have favorite restaurants. I have medical facilities, urgent care facilities, dental facilities, all of these things. Put it in a giveaway, or, you could write a book about it. Write a book about your community. I did that with my Villages Florida playbook, which you see right here. I've sold almost 1,000 copies of that, and I put that out in September. And before we go any further, I do want you to remember I have a couple of books if you're in real estate or just thinking about getting into real estate. This is Real Estate is Your Next Chapter. I designed this book for those of us who are getting into real estate maybe a little later in life, change of career. It's how to start over, stand out, and succeed in real estate at any age. All of these books you can get on Amazon in print or on your Kindle device. This one is, if you know anybody that's a younger person, maybe under 30, this is how to start to make a 6-figure career in real estate. I think this is really helpful for anyone who wants to get into real estate. And if you know of someone, it will talk about all the steps that they need and how they can be successful. Because, a lot of kids don't think about real estate as a career. And I think it's a very viable, very lucrative career because people are always going to buy and sell homes. And last, if you want to build traction, authority, and get to closing, you are going to want to pick up your first 12 deals. Again, these are all on Amazon in print or for Kindle. So make sure you get that. Okay, so back to our 5 buckets. And on this sheet here, you're going to see also, I have broken it down by public data, market data, all the different things that you can talk about, whether it's in a print with text to post to social, or you want to do long form or short form. I highly suggest you get into long and short form video content. And if you are a broker or you might want to approach your broker, I do have training classes. I can send you the information. I do it virtually and live class. I am putting together recorded sessions so you can watch at your leisure. And we're going to get into some Zoom group workshops. So that's fun. That's all coming up. So make sure you want to hit that like and subscribe button so you know when this information's coming out. But also when you get this deck you'll have to give me your email and I will keep you on the list so you'll get informed of all the new things that are coming up. But there's so many things to talk about that are going to prove your expertise. And this is what I did. I broke down my community and what was the pain that each of my buyers, because in the beginning, again, I started out as a buyer's agent. They were easier to find than listings. Now, my listings have quadrupled over the past couple of years, but I've positioned myself as that expert. And now some of my people are selling their home and buying another one. But go after that buyer, Let them know you are the expert. Give them the information that's causing them pain when it comes to moving. And again, it's, there are simple things about moving, movers and people to unpack, cleaners, those types of things. But right now you need to have those things, but right now we are targeting getting them to you so you can give them that information later because they purchased a home from you. I looked for where are my buyers' pain? And the questions that they had about my specific market were, they wanted to know about the bond and the CDD. And I'm not going to go into that with you here. We have an amenity fee because we're not a homeowners association, so I talk about the differences of that. I did a 5-part series. I called it the Money Map. And I can repeat this content because sometimes it changes, but people keep searching the same topics. And I want it to look fresh and new. The bond, the CDD, the amenity fee. I talk about taxes. I go through all the county tax rates. And I mean, in your community, might be different counties, but there might be different city taxes that you want to talk about and show people how to calculate that. I actually put a tax calculator on my website so my buyers and sellers can just go and check all that out. And cost of living. And I think that's huge because if they're moving into your community, they're going to want to know, what is it going to be for me? What's going to cost me? Can I find jobs? I have a job, but can my spouse find work? I have teenage children. What am I going to do with them? Are there after-school sports? Can they get work? So it's a wealth of information. You need to position yourself as that expert. Too many people are out there posting photos of them walking around, having a drink with their friends, walking their dog. They're not getting into the meat of why people are moving there and what they need to know. Please, please, please do this. This is how I grew my business. I do some lifestyle, and I probably would get more views on some of my content because some of the other creators here, even realtors, some of their videos will reach more people because it's more lifestyle. But when they're going to look for a home, I get the call, because I'm the one that's talking about the things that they need to know. And don't be afraid to just say. So I've told many people, I was, hey, this is a market update. And I was in a bunch of homes this week, around 400,000. And let me tell you, what a bunch of crap. And every time I say those things, they know that if they're buying from afar, or even if their house with me, I'm going to let them know, hey, I don't like this house. This has got this, it's got that, it's got the other thing. We can do better for your money. You need to position yourself as that expert. Find their pain, talk about the pain, but give them a solution how you are the pain reliever. You're a big old aspirin, right? Yes. I hit the microphone there. All right, so I want you to promise me you are going to download this deck. You are going to work from it and create content. With AI, AI will flush out all that content, give you the text to talk about, and it can even create the graphic for you. I'm not going to tell you it's easy because sometimes playing with it can be a little difficult, and we'll do that in another episode, but play around with it. Or if you get 50 topics, let's say, that you want to put into a text post, send it to someone like Fiverr and let somebody like that create it for you so you have it, but just get started. Now, I use different programs so I can batch posts. Like I upload, just for example, all of my text posts are in one program and I have them scheduled out. Like I would not have to put out another piece of text image content for the rest of the month because I've scheduled it out. And it just, in the beginning, you're going to spend a lot of time getting it all set up, figuring it out. But then after that, posting will be a breeze. And I do also have another program that will post my short form video. The long form video, I just post myself. But we'll talk about all of those things as we go along, because I said, I am going to give you the exact playbook. I'm not going to hide anything here because I want you to be successful. If you're successful, I'm successful. And if you need any training help, remember, send me a message so I can get you on my list when the program is ready to go. I can reach out to you, but also if your broker is interested in doing an in-person, I'll travel anywhere, it doesn't matter, but in person, or if you want to do a Zoom training, I'm available for that. Thank you very much for catching me on this local expert. Stop chasing, start attracting, and get out there, start making some content. Let me know how you make out. All right, I'm Robyn Cavallaro. I will see you next time.